Welcome to today's video. Today I will challenge myself to do this design without any molds, just using some tools I have on hand. So I start with the colors, starting with the dough color. I will leave on the description my dough color mixture, so if you want to do it. I create like a dome and I'm trying to shape it as a small tartlet, and with this tool I start doing that and add some texture with a toothbrush just everywhere, and I began with this dotting tool making those lines like some small tartlet shapes have those lines, so I want to create that. I move my clay to this small piece of tile so I can work better there, and I do the lines all around, and that's basically for the texture. And then I add the shading with those three colors, starting by the lightest and then the darkest one. You can add as much shading as you want, and then I flip it in there and begin to do that on the top a little bit. I don't know how much it will be visible, but I like to do it so you can see the texture on the top as well. I refine some of the details, and I want to remove some of the extra clay so I can add the caramel feeling that this tart will have. So I remove some of the clay. I add more shading on top of that. So that's basically my small tartlet vase. For the filling of this charm, I basically just mix some liquid Sculpey with those colors to make like a caramel type. I think those two colors make the closest caramel tone, so I recommend those. And from there I want to do some frosting or a cream on top of that. So I take a piece of white clay, and I here use a glove because working with white clay can be very tricky, and I do like a flat snake, and then I roll it like in a like a dollop shape. And with the lines I guide myself to draw more lines with this tool. The idea is to do like when you pipe with a start piping tip, so that shape is the one I want. And I just take my time and I put some liquid clay so I can attach the decorations that I'm going to do next. To do the almond, I just take some of that color and I draw some lines in there and add some shading. For the pecan is more simple. Maybe you can guide yourself with a picture of the nuts so you can do it. The cinnamon, I flatten it and I roll it that way with my tool and add some texture. The last one is a golden leaf, like a autumn or fall leaf, and I do it on my finger with my tool and add a little bit of gold. Unfortunately, I lost the footage putting the decorations, but I first attached them to the frosting and then put it everything on top of the caramel. Here I'm doing a little bit of sliced almonds. I take some light clay and I put some shading, and because I don't want to bake it, so I just with my lighter I pass it through several times and then I slice it, and I use that as my sliced almonds. Of course, the proportion it's not very accurate, but to me they are like almonds, and I place them wherever I see it's needed. And that's basically everything made by hand with no molds. So here they are, both charms aside, so you can see the differences. So the left one is the one I do using all the molds that I do myself with my masters, and it's basically what I use to make my jewelry making more speedy, and so I can be more efficient with my time. And here is an example that you don't need any mold, but you can still create beautiful pieces. Of course, takes a lot of time, but let's see some of the differences between them. So in the masters I can control the texture. It already has the texture. I added the shading as well, and as far the difference is more on the feeling, because in the mold I can create some space for the what is the mixture that it's a caramel type, so I can have more space. As for the one that I did by hand, you can see it's just basically the caramel on top, so you don't see like a depth to it, so it's more like it's just sitting on top. It's maybe something I just see because I've been doing this for a long time, but it is still a very cute charm. Other difference that I can tell you is in the cinnamon stick. In this one, maybe I didn't show that because it's more time consuming, but I use some actual cinnamon to roll the clay, and it gives that effect of real cinnamon, as here just basically textured the clay, so it's the same tone, it's just the cinnamon thing. And the nuts, the nuts came pretty close. These ones, everything here is made with a mold basically, and they look pretty similar because I know how to make them. And the almonds look also pretty similar. The golden leaf also almost similar, and the frosting may have some differences, but I think I did pretty well not using any molds here. So these are charms that I sell on my shops. Of course, they are designs that I created with a lot of time and also inspiration from real food. And of course, you can use the techniques I show you here to make creations of your own. Always, I know everyone can bring their own touch to everything they make, so you can make it unique, bring something new to a design you see, and just make it your own. But yes, I would love to see any creations that you do using the technique on this tutorial. If you ever do anything, please tag me on Instagram with the tag Tartlet Charms, so I can see them and even share them in my stories. So yes, this is a nice challenge I want to keep doing, but let me know which one you think looks best or which one you like best. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.